This video talks about paying bills by check. You can write your checks directly to the vendors without having to go through the two steps of entering bills and then paying bills. Even if you use the two-step process, sometimes you may need to write a check to a vendor without going through the process of first entering the bill. But one thing I want to caution you, do not use the Write Checks window to write a check for a bill you have already entered, because this will kind of mess up your accounts. So let me just quickly show you what happens when you do that. So go to Write Checks. I'll choose a vendor. And here Quickbooks is saying that there is a bill that you've entered for this vendor. And it's saying that if you use the Write Checks window, it will cause your accounts payable balance to be incorrect. You can continue writing the check, or the better option is to go to Pay Bills. So we'll choose that and then just close that window, since this video talks about writing checks. So you can either write a check by hand and record it, or enter a check into QuickBooks and print it. You use this method if you don't use the two-step method of entering bills and then paying them. First, let's enter a check into QuickBooks to print it. So on the home page, go to Write Checks. You could choose here the checking account that you're using, and checking is what we want, and then select the vendor. So in the amount field, type the amount of the check. And press Tab, and QuickBooks writes out the amount for you. In the memo field, this is a good place to enter your account number, because this will print on the check. And so I'll enter the account number. On the Expense tab, assign the check amount to one or more accounts. But this is only for utilities, so that's what I'll select, and I won't select any others. And since I plan to print the check later, make sure the Print Later checkbox is selected. If you signed up for online banking and extra fees apply, you would click to select the Pay Online option. And this tells QuickBooks to make the payment online instead of printing the check. And sadly, QuickBooks is designed to be displayed on a larger screen than the video can display. So to show you the next step, I need to mess around here with the QuickBooks window. So I'll maximize the window. And here you can see that these buttons that were not previously showing now show up. Click Save Anew, and we'll enter a handwritten check. So if you're at the big box store buying a bunch of supplies, you may choose to write a check for the items at the store or use your debit card. When you get back, you'll have to record the handwritten check or debit card transaction into your check register. You could also use this method to record other transactions that withdraw money from your account, such as an ATM withdrawal. In this example, I'll record a handwritten check for the handyman. He finished the work, and you wrote out a check by hand, so he wouldn't have to wait for you to enter it into QuickBooks and print it out. So first, deselect the Print Later checkbox. And click in the number field and enter the number of the actual check. And check the date, make sure it's the date that you wrote the check, and choose the vendor from this menu. And we're paying Chuck the Handyman. So here, QuickBooks has pre-filled the account with repairs and maintenance. And I'll write $175. And QuickBooks fills in the amount and writes out the amount for you. So click Save and Close to save the check. And let me go back to the regular size. And that's it for writing and recording checks.